Good morning, St. Francis, and good morning, people of God. It is Saturday, the 30th day of March, 2024. It is Holy Saturday, the third day of the Triduum, actually probably second day if you go Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday. It's a Saturday. So it's the second day of the Paschal Triduum here again at Holy Name of Jesus Cathedral, because it is 9 a.m. and it's almost 9 a.m. and it's almost time for our rehearsal for the vigil this evening here at the cathedral. It is very quiet here, perhaps after a very large celebratory evening, because NC State defeated Marquette in the NCAA tournament, March Madness, and so hopefully all the students are asleep. It'll be interesting to see though, because both NC State and Duke, which also won, they defeated Houston. Again, I'm giving you a sports report. I don't know why I'm doing that, but they'll be playing each other on Easter Sunday. So it's like, what do you do? But Jesus still rises in the midst of all of this anyway. So what is to do with today? Today, again, is the one day in which there is no service. Again, the vigil is supposed to begin at midnight, so moving us into Easter Sunday, but it doesn't, because everybody wants midnight mass at Christmas, but they don't want midnight mass at Easter. I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense. I guess because the culture doesn't also observe it like that. So it's a bit of a problem. The thing is that today, so there is to be no Eucharist, there is to be no services whatsoever. The only things that can happen today, perhaps, is the handing on of the creed to our elect as they prepare for baptism this evening, and morning prayer. There's always daily prayer, even if it is the Triduum. We always observe morning prayer, which is again why daily prayer again has a power that sometimes we don't recognize enough. You don't do Eucharist on Holy Thursday, but you would do morning prayer, and you also do evening prayer on Holy Saturday. I'm sorry, that's Holy Thursday. Holy Saturday. On Holy Saturday, you don't do any Eucharist. You don't have any masses. You don't have communion of any kind. But you do morning prayer and evening prayer. The power of the hours and the power of walking with Christ through these hours, again, in which he now lies in silence, in which he lies in the tomb. Again, what happens on this day, tradition holds, is that he descends to the underworld. Again, is it hell? Is it Hades? Is it some other kinds of place? Is it Sheol? Again, it is not the hell that we sometimes think that it is, with a devil and a pitchfork and everything else like that. It is the abode of the dead, no more, no less. There is no talk ever of the creation of a hell or anything else like that. That's a whole other story that we don't have to go into today. But what happens is that Jesus goes into this abode of the dead, knocks down the doors that have kept those who have been dead in that abode of the dead, and brings them into paradise. So another place that is different from the abode of the dead. But everyone goes, and that's the thing, is that everyone who has been in this abode of the dead, there is no reckoning, there is no you're in, you're out, you're in, you're out, nothing like that. It is this Christ who brings all of these people into paradise, into the place that they need to be with God. The time of our faults, the time of all of the mistakes that we've made, the time of all of those inaccuracies and all of the pride and the arrogance that we sometimes have demonstrated is over, and now all is one with God. Because again, if God loses anything that God has created, and God creates everything, then God has failed. Jesus' time now within this abode of the dead to free and rescue the abode of those who dwell in there demonstrates again God's power and God's might, God's authority, God's control over everything. Something that we are asked to reflect upon and think about in the silence of what Holy Saturday is, to allow us to truly appreciate the wonder and glory of being in a relationship with a God who loves us so greatly. A blessed continuation of the Triduum, St. Francis and people of God, a blessed Holy Saturday. May the Lord give you his peace.